We've established that I don't often say that loud enough, which is why I think I need to get a sign. But anyway, welcome, friends. We finally have a guest for you. Today we're here with Allison Wynn. Would you like to tell the people anything about yourself?
Hello, like she just said, I'm Allison Wynn and friend of Sarah and new to the rest of you all today.
Why that? We love to see it.
Yeah, we've been friends for what, 20 something years?
Middle school.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is there's a long backlog of embarrassing stories.
Our friendship could drink, so it would be at least 21 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what? Just for funsies, I have all these like magnetic photo pockets in my fridge with random pictures from various phases in my life.
Oh.
And I just happened to
Not that one. That's okay. Yeah, just keep Rachel and you. Don't.
So yeah, oh, this is hard to do. Allison and then me and then that's our friend Rachel
I love it.
from high school tennis team.
The
Love that.
Nerd.
girls tennis team at East Liverpool High School.
I love it.
Yeah.
I
was like-
love it. So how's everyone doing on this fine, what is it? Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. We always record on Wednesday. I don't know why I bothered to check my Fitbit.
Fine. It stopped raining for like the first time in days. I thought we were gonna like, float away on a river.
I love
Just
it.
rain.
Although I think that weather might be heading down this way, which has me greatly concerned for Halloween.
Yeah, it is supposed to rain this weekend, which is not ideal.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we can still enjoy ourselves, even though this episode's going to be coming out after Halloween, but that's fine.
Yeah. I feel like I'm trying to be sensitive to like not say anything time specific because of the delay, but then
I have a little bit given up
yeah.
because we also have streams that are being released in real time, so I feel like that kind of offsets it a little bit. Like any weird 1 week old things that we say are put into context by the fact that we are on stream like 3 days later in real time.
Fair.
All right, so would we like to dive right in, friends? I have some, I think, fun questions for today, but of course I think they're fun. I wrote some of them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. First one. I'm great at
I'll
this.
make a motion.
I was staring at the document and was like, oh, you said a thing. Yes, I
Seconding
know
the
it.
motion. So you always hear it's a lot of times boomers. You hear boomers being like, oh, like swearing is unattractive, like, something that only like lowly people do. So what do we think? Do we agree with that? Is swearing attractive? If yes, is it only sometimes under certain circumstances?
If the way you talk doesn't have variety, then it's not attractive. If that's like if that's what you're relying on to convey your message, then no. But if it is just like a colorful part of the way you communicate,
Yeah.
then I'm not saying it makes you attractive. I'm just saying like
Yeah, I think it's annoying if
it's-
it's like you can't get through a conversation without it, or it's like every other word. But I don't know, I think sometimes it can be kind of attractive. And I will
Do you
provide some fun examples.
Do you mean attractive as in like somebody that you'd be romantically interested in, or attractive just as a person that you like to hang out with?
I guess I would say probably romantically.
Gotcha. I don't think either way it would matter to me. I don't think it makes you necessarily attractive just because you do swear, but I don't think it makes you lowly if you do swear either.
Yeah. Fair enough. Brooksy, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like kind of along the lines of what Zach's saying. I think if there's anything that you overuse, whether it's a swear word or just using the same annoying phrase over and over, like it's gonna be irritating.
Mm-hmm.
Swear words to me are just words, so if you're peppering them in too much, then it like loses all meaning.
Yeah.
But I also feel like they're great for adding effect in certain circumstances.
Oh yeah, no. If you know how to pick your moments very well, that's a
Like,
point in your favor.
I don't say a ton. But when I do, it's because I'm trying to really emphasize something, you know, and that's why it has impact.
It's like the effects on PowerPoint. Like,
Yeah.
like if you're relying on for the quality of your PowerPoint is the effects that the slides come in on, it's gonna be a terrible PowerPoint. But
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
actually
this is
such
a
a
really
fun way to
good
think about
slide.
it. I
So
love
like,
But I also kind of think the other way, like a person that refuses to swear or is like offended by swearing, that can be unattractive.
Yeah, no, I'm not about that. I'm not
Yes.
about someone's like moral
you
high
can't-
ground where
yeah.
they're like better than you because they'll say like dang it instead of damn it or whatever. No, none of that.
and in that way it can be cringy. If
Yeah.
like if I ever hear anybody say like bull crap, I just like
No.
it's like nails on. It's like if you're not gonna say bullshit, then just leave the animal out of
Yeah,
it.
or just
Go
say
with
it's
something
BS.
else.
So
Or say
nonsense.
garbage. Yeah, not like there are some very cringy substitute words that
Yeah, I hate those. Ugh. Yeah, no. I don't know. The thing that kind of like made me think of this question is because, like, again, you know, a lot of people will say like, oh, it's not like swearing isn't attractive, like it's unbecoming or whatever. But I am thirsting for Luke Spiller on main again, which is fine.
Again, still,
Continuously,
perpetually.
yeah. Allison, band guy I like.
Lead singer of the Struts.
Lead singer of the Struts. But I was listening to a Struts song, and there's God, what's the song? It's the song "Dirty Sexy Money." There's always a phrase. There's always a phrase in the chorus with swears, and you know, I'm listening to the song, I'm like, that's hot, and that's why I thought of the question, because people are like, oh, swearing isn't attractive, but then things like that, I'm like, that's kind of hot.
I just feel like it's a special case. Oh, please go ahead, Allison.
No, go ahead, Sarah.
That's our very like small town Ohio. No, you. Well, I mean, just to that point, I feel like it's almost a special case in music because I feel like most of the time, at least for most music that I've listened to, it's not like constant swearing like a lot of people might do in conversation. And I feel like a lot of musicians are good at using it to emphasize, especially like in chorus,
Yeah.
like in choruses. So I just feel like it's a little bit different when you're talking about it in like the context of a song versus a conversation.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. Someone also made this like, I think back when I was on like Tumblr or whatever, somebody made a supercut of like every time David Tennant swears in like anything, and everyone in the comments was, of course, you know, thirsting for David Tennant, and I can't say I didn't agree. So, also that, just, you know, kind of a thing to put out there.
Has anybody seen The King's Speech?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like that swearing scene added so much effect to the movie.
It really,
one,
that was a great movie.
Oh, it was a phenomenal movie. The scene was funny.
Mm-hmm.
It added so much character to
Yeah.
the Duke, the King. I remember what he was at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But like that was a good example of it.
I would agree.
There was like maybe one or two other moments in the movie where somebody swore, but certainly not to that effect.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about how you use it.
Yeah, I would say definitely about
like that
picking
scene
your
made the
moments.
movie better.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't know. I guess my like overall answer to like the first part of the question, I would just say yeah, if you're picking your moments well.
yeah.
Because again, like, you know, sometimes, especially if it's like, I'm thinking of this mostly in the context of characters, because as we've established, I am always simping for some character in something. This is just who I am. But like, you know, characters who don't like, or like any kind of person who doesn't really like who kind of like keeps it clean for the most part, and then like, you know, you're in a real serious situation and they finally like, you know, drop an F-bomb or whatever, you're like, whoa.
I think there's one really important thing here that we're overlooking. The perceived attractiveness of the person regardless of the swearing.
Correct.
Because I think if you already find the person attractive,
Mm-hmm.
then you might see their swearing as like endearing or badass or whatever the context is.
Yeah,
But if the person you don't think is attractive, it's like, ugh, they're so trashy.
you are completely
It's like
right.
golf.
Yes,
Yeah, I feel like-
Swearing is like the golf of language.
correct. That's such a
Yeah.
fun way to think of it.
Because I was trying to think, like, what's the commonality in all those situations? Oh, they're like attractive
Yeah.
actors, attractive singers, famous people that we already look up to and think are attractive. That's why they're famous.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're thinking about just average people in our everyday lives, that's a totally different thing, I feel like.
Yeah, so I guess average everyday life, probably not. But if I already think the person is hot, yes.
So it can enhance attractiveness in certain contexts
Yes,
for somebody who's already attractive,
correct.
but perhaps have the opposite effect for people that we do not see as attractive.
Yeah, pretty much.
Super hot, but all they knew was like F-bomb this. Like they knew no other parts of speech.
Yeah, okay, that's not hot.
Yeah.
So it can't just be like constant, even if you do already find them attractive. They have to be attractive and know to pick their moments with it.
Yeah. There has to be a balance.
I dig it. Yeah, so I guess that sort of covers the like only under certain circumstances and what are those certain circumstances kind of addendum I had to this question because I put it in like 2 bullet points.
I mean, there could be other things to add to that. Like I've said before, I can just keep talking about anything for like hours if you'll let me.
Well, I mean, we're
But-
only 12 minutes in, so have at it. 12 minutes in and 3 things scheduled, so
Yeah. Oh, I could just let me know and I'll keep filling time. I always got more to say. I try to cut myself off so I don't go overboard.
the floor is
like,
yours.
So I started thinking about like different contexts because we're not really thinking about context, like the workplace versus like if you're in a school or like around your family members or with friends. I feel like
Very
people
true.
who know the appropriate context in which to use it,
Correct.
that matters a lot. Like my parents swear, but still it would feel weird if I was dating somebody who swore around them because I feel like that would make a bad impression.
Yeah, I
I was-
mean, I also think even within that, it kind of depends. Like, neither of my parents are gonna care if, like, I've been seeing a guy and I bring him home and he drops something and he's like, oh, damn it. Like, you know,
Yeah, but what like an F-bomb?
that's a bit much.
Yeah.
Although, frankly, every time my dad, like, tries to give me grief for swearing, I remind him that he accidentally taught me the F word when I was, like, 5. I mean, he was working on something in my Grammy's garage and he hit his thumb with a hammer, which, like, valid response. But I do, anytime he tries to be like, language, I'm like, listen. Valid response, but you still did that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think my parents would actually judge a person, but it's just, I don't know, it just feels wrong somehow.
Yeah.
I will occasionally lightly swear in front of them like I'm testing the waters, even though I'm 36. And they used to every once in a while, at least like jokingly, like, you know, scold me. But I think they've kind of given up now, but it still feels weird. Like, I don't know.
See, for me, it varies with my parents because my parents are separated. When I'm with like my mom, my sisters, like we swear like there's no tomorrow. Like
I
that's
love
all
that for
there
you.
is. But when it's like my dad, I really don't, unless I'm like really emphasizing a point and it doesn't happen often. Like he's heard me swear, but very rarely. So I more hold that back.
It's funny.
For
My mom, like,
special occasions.
my mom's kind of weird about it sometimes because like sometimes I'll like, you know, I drop something and I'll like, you know, say whatever and she'll be like, oh, Bridget, but then other times like she drops something, she's like, oh, fuck. I'm like, Kathy, double standard.
Yeah, it's weird how that seems to like never go away though. Like I think I'll be, 20 years from now still afraid to swear in front of my parents. Not
Yeah.
afraid, but like hesitant, I guess.
Yeah, no. Fun things about being an adult, but still technically someone's child.
Yeah. But I think it's basically going to this point of whether or not they, the swearing makes them attractive.
Mm-hmm.
In general, I feel like there is something to it regarding knowing how to read a room.
Yeah.
And know when it's appropriate to swear.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I think a person, even if they're otherwise like very attractive and the swearing like enhances that, if they're not like aware enough of their situation to know when that's not appropriate,
that immediately done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will just like tank their attractiveness.
Correct. Yeah,
So
and again, I'm just like, the person I'm thinking of in every single one of these circumstances is Luke Spiller. I am trash. It's fine.
I guess I'm just envisioning like a generic potential person to date is what's in my head.
Valid.
Generic, like the generic red flag person from a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah. That was a fun discussion.
It was very fun.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
I actually started to listen to it a little bit the other day, and it's like it just weirds me out hearing myself, and I'm like, okay, I got it.
It weirds me out too because every time because like I have to listen to them to see like where I need to edit, like if I need to edit things in like actually on the video file, so like where I need to do that, I need to make sure I didn't miss any links to like put in the description where we talk about something. So I like listen to every single episode, and the whole time I'm just like, I hate it.
It feels so stupid.
It does. Yeah. And every time I like look at the video file when I'm editing it, I can always see that I spent 90% of the episode like looking at the viewfinder on my other screen to make sure that I'm still in frame, even though I know I have the frame set up so that I can't leave it. But I'm still just like, what if I'm out of frame? So the whole time I'm like editing or like doing any kind of video or sound editing, I'm just like, look away. But I can't because I need to see and hear things.
Yeah, like I think I've said before, I pretty much always, like not always, very often forget that we're actually doing a podcast. We're being recorded.
Good. That's what we want. Like, it's more fun that way.
And I'll sometimes later remember things that we talked about and be like, wait, so was that actually part of the podcast? It was recorded or something we were chatting about before or after? And I honestly don't remember.
It does start to blur together after a while, but it's fine.
Anyway, swearing.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna move on.
Yeah, okay.
You added this question, and I need to know where on earth you found it, first of all.
I was just randomly looking, and I thought, this is such a stupid question. Like, it's ridiculous.
Would you like to share?
And I'm gonna read it, like verbatim, because I just copied and pasted it. This is not my wording.
Have at it.
It's another question about attractiveness. So,
pretty fun little theme for us.
Yeah. Will bracelets make you look more attractive or not?
No.
What?
That's so open-ended. That is the most like vague and not specific and random thing.
I don't think such a small piece of jewelry far away from like your face, which is generally what most people are focusing on when talking about attractiveness, is gonna change anything one way or the other.
What if somebody has
me.
a fetish?
Okay, well, I mean, it probably
But
does
if they
exist.
see you and just go like right for the wrist.
Just with the amount of people that are on this planet, gonna guess it's out there.
Oh, absolutely. Like, it's a dumb question, obviously.
It's
but
an
at the same
incredibly dumb question.
time, like it really made me kind of think though, because like bracelets are one of those things I just don't really think about.
Yeah, no. I like hardly ever wear, and I hardly ever wear anything other than my like Fitbit anyway, which like I'm really not counting on this to give me points one way or the other. It's a Fitbit.
Yeah, my smartwatch is on the charger right now, so I feel like a little bit
Yeah.
naked. But I mean, I don't really wear bracelets, so I don't really think about it, and I don't really notice other people wearing bracelets.
Yeah,
for
that's
the
not
most.
something I really notice. Like if someone's wearing jewelry, the things I'm gonna notice are probably like earrings and like necklaces.
Yeah, because why would you look at people's wrists? Like, why is that your first? Oh,
That's a really
Exactly.
weird one.
Maybe if you
Although
wanted,
that is where cologne goes, right? Like you can
yeah,
like,
where the pulse.
yeah.
Interesting. I didn't actually know that was the reason. Continue. Unless
Yeah.
unless you didn't have anything else to say.
You're supposed to put it right there, and then behind your ears, like kind of right there, because when your blood pumps, that kind of.
Huh.
I actually didn't know that.
Well, now I know.
I do that every morning. I spritz it on my wrist, do that, and then do that,
Nice.
just like my mom taught me.
Aw. Yeah, I feel like the only jewelry that's giving people points in my book is, again, things framing the face. Because when I was in Salem last week, I saw a guy wearing like a pearl necklace, and I was like, that's hot.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Have I ever seen a pearl necklace?
it's kind of like, that's a thing that's like taking off on TikTok.
Buy some pearl necklaces?
Yeah,
So specific.
I know it is, but again, we've established that I like pretty boys,
Yeah.
so I was very much here for that. And again, that's something I'm gonna notice way more than if a guy has like, you know, like a silver bracelet on or whatever.
Well, I noticed that Zach usually had one of those like silicone ones on, but that's also because he usually has his wrist like that. But like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than
Mine-
that,
Yeah, I don't think it makes you like look different either one way or the other.
well, like, but I feel like I almost do notice it more because it doesn't seem super common.
I mean, if
Like-
someone has a ton of bangles on, yeah, I'm gonna notice it.
The secretary of our department wears a ton of bracelets.
Noreen
Like,
Mazurowski, love her.
she is an amazing human.
We
But
stand
like she
Noreen.
often wears like multiples on both wrists, and they clang when she moves her arms, and I just don't understand how that's comfortable. Like that would drive me insane.
Yeah, no.
But,
Although-
she does-
I kind of get how people have like their own little jewelry things that they're fine with, because I don't like wearing bracelets, but I'm sure like I wear dangly earrings all the time when I'm not like wearing headphones for the podcast, and I'm sure that drives some people nuts, but I'm fine feeling them like hitting into the sides of my face like at random points during the day.
as long as they're not super heavy. I've gotten a few pairs where I'm like, this is heavier than it should be, and this is uncomfortable. But yeah,
Apparently there's a random thought, there's a type of like earring back that like really helps stabilize it, so it's like really like stuff that has like a lot of like jewels and stuff.
Mhm.
Not as heavy. Thing to consider.
Mhm.
Anyway, getting sidetracked because I love dangly earrings.
yeah. So I don't know it's necessarily attractive, but like definitely when I notice people wearing bracelets, it really makes me think about it. Like what draws people to that? How is it comfortable?
Yeah,
What
I
is-
usually don't wear them a lot because before, like, on the occasions when I would wear them, like, I have some of the like Alex and Ani bracelets that have like the little charm on them or whatever, and they're nice. But like whenever I would wear them, I would wear them on my left wrist because I'm right-handed, and most of the time when I was wearing them, I was in like high school, and I would have to be like writing all day. But now I like don't want to wear them because it conflicts with the Fitbit. There's already something happening over here. There could be one thing happening.
I almost feel like bracelets are kind of like they're extra because again, people aren't really looking at that part of your
Yeah, I
your
mean, if
anatomy.
I notice that someone has like a really nice outfit put together with like matching jewelry, like matching like necklace, earrings, bracelet, I'm like, that's nice. Like, good on
Yeah.
you, friend. Very well
That's-
coordinated.
And it also suggests to me that they're doing it more for themselves,
Yeah.
than with other people.
Yeah, this is more of just like this is for me. This isn't to get style points.
And I mean,
Yeah.
things you do for yourself can definitely like still be earning you points in someone else's book,
Yeah.
just
Sure.
depending on what the person likes, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but I
It's just
just
such
feel
an
like
odd question.
I feel like bracelets are more like personal thing that's more for about like just for you than
Mhm.
something like earrings or a necklace would be.
Yeah, and I don't know. And I mean,
Right.
like, maybe if someone does just find a ton of jewelry attractive in general, like, maybe. But, yeah, I don't know. This is such a dumb question.
We spent minutes of our lives talking about this.
This is the whole point.
Was the question asked by somebody who owns a jewelry shop or a jewelry line?
Well, you think that they would have been like, yes, they do.
Correct.
You know,
It
it was actually some site where they just had like a list of like stupid questions for debate, and most of them were pretty standard, you know, like probably ones that are already on the list or that have already been addressed.
Mhm.
But that one was one I had not seen anywhere, and I thought, what? Where did it come from? Right? Like, was this just like one person's idea where this would be fun to talk about, or did people have an actual debate about this? And if so, why?
I feel like the case where people have had an actual debate about this, it was probably a bunch of girls after a night at the club.
Sounds about right.
Because there are some. Brooks, did we ever watch that video where it's like, it's just Jenna Marbles showing everyone her favorite TikToks, and one of them is like these girls fighting after a wine tasting, and the girl who's recording like can't keep a grip on her wine glass and it just spills everywhere.
Yeah.
And you can and I think Julian says it in the video. You can tell that they're arguing about nothing, just nothing, but they're so invested.
I know the video you mean. I think we watched that one here once.
Yeah, no, and I will link that video and put the timestamp for the specific TikTok that I'm talking about. But yeah, we've all been there. I'm saying it was a choice.
Yes. Yep.
Where's my choice? Knocks over wine glass. Oh man. All been there.
Yeah, I mean, this one I have, like most of these I can talk endlessly about, but I really got nothing much. I mean, I can always make stuff up, but nothing worth anybody hearing. Not that anything I've already said on this topic was worth it.
You know who might find bracelets attractive would be some sort of con artist or thief who is looking to steal fine jewelry. If you had a nice tennis bracelet, then he would find you attractive.
That's true.
This is very true, but only attractive in the sense of to steal from.
Yes.
Well, but
Attractive mark.
like
Yeah.
what you're wearing on your wrists means a lot. Like if you're somebody who's into fitness, then looking at Sarah's or Bridget's or my wrists might tell you that, hey, maybe they keep track of like their physical activity throughout the day. That can be an indicator. So like it can play to different groups,
Yeah.
to be sure.
I love my Fitbit. It bullies me into exercising because I don't want to disappoint my little wrist robot.
Yep.
Amazing. All I need.
Very.
All I need is a box to like check off, and suddenly any task becomes so much more appealing. Just because I get to say that I have done the task.
Gamification.
Literally, I messaged the two of you literally yesterday morning. I was like, it is amazing how much I can get done before 11 a.m. if it means that the rest of the day is just going to be uninterrupted, guilt-free video game time. And it was fantastic. I think I played Elder Scrolls for like 5 hours yesterday. And that's what I'm going to be doing once we're finished recording tonight, because I am once again addicted to Skyrim.
That's been out for a while, right?
Oh, it's been out for like 10 years. It is still a good game,
Yeah.
though.
I was just excited that I knew a thing about video games.
Yo, me too. The most I could ever relate to that, like I was in high school, and it was like the arrow to the knee thing.
Yeah.
And that used to be a thing for a while.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
And I took an arrow to the knee.
Again, a very memeable game, because there's definitely like some cringe lines and some pretty annoying NPCs, but God, it's so fun.
I have
love it.
literally never played it once. As Bridget could tell from the one time we played a video game together, I'm not good at them. I showed her a game, and then
Oh, you
the
showed me Team
next game she was-
Fortress.
yeah, and the next game she was better than me. Like,
Thank you. I think that was the only time I've been even slightly proficient in a multiplayer game setting. Which felt good, I'm not gonna lie. As a person who just plays a lot of RPGs, felt good to be, like, publicly competent.
I was like, all right, I'm just gonna follow you around. 'cause-
Okay, I will try not to, like, steer the talk into video games, because then I'll just be the only one speaking.
Yeah. Oh man, that reminds me. We should all just talk about running because now we have 3.
Go ahead. I have yet to play support role in.
I was just thinking about that the other day. It's like, oh, you know. Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh no, just messing with you.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's gonna happen at some point, because again, I haven't been support person in an episode yet.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
It'll happen organically.
Okay, I like that. Can happen extra organically if you two, like, conspire in the document without me.
It could. Could.
Would have been questions. Just pick an episode that's like, weeks from now, so you're not looking that far yet, and just insert like 3 or 4 running related questions.
I was actually curious. I was like, was there such a thing as running hot takes? And so I like Googled running hot takes, and it's just like hot takes that keep like reappearing throughout time, just like running hot takes. I was like, no, like hot takes about running.
Interesting. I feel like there has to be some combination of words you could find
There has to be somewhere
to find actual hot take. Oh, speaking of hot takes, by the time this episode is airing, we will have officially entered No Nuance November. Oh, you just say your hot takes without explanation, and that's it.
That's a new one for me. Yeah, that kind of was one of those, because you just said a thing and then didn't provide context.
I do my best. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that just started on, like, TikTok last year or something.
With the kids, I see.
The youths.
Yeah, the youths. Of which I am one.
You're on TikTok.
Hello,
that
my
counts.
fellow youths.
I am on the TikTok. That's what I call them too. Is TikToks.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Yep.
When I was living in New York and I like had a house, I like went outside one day and there were kids on my lawn, and I was like, "Get off my lawn!" And then I was like, "Oh no!"
Official old man status.
It's like such a joke when you're younger, but then when you get a little bit older, I get it.
Okay, here's the thing. Finding kids annoying does not make you old. Kids are annoying.
But caring about the lawn, I think, is an older.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, the lawn is an old person thing. I will give you that. But children in public spaces, less of those, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's my hot take for No Nuance November. Children under 6 should be allowed in fewer public spaces, and dogs should be allowed in way more.
And cats on leashes.
Do you think either of your cats would accept a leash?
No. Public generally normalize more pets in public places.
Yes.
Because eventually when I move out of this place and I can legally have reptiles, I'm going to get a beardy, and I'm going to take my beardy everywhere with me on a leash.
Yes. Oh my god, you should get one of the beardy leashes that has, like, little wings so they look like an actual dragon.
A dragon?
Yes. Oh my god, I'm totally going to hang out at your house all the time when you have a beardy. That's going to be great.
I forget the name of the morph that I want, but it's bright red. So it'll be like a bright red.
Oh, you sent me pictures of that. That looks sick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm the one who, like, inducted her into the cult of reptile ownership. That was my doing.
Picture me in the future walking down the street with a red lizard. It's just
I love it.
a dream. my dream. I already have one. I shouldn't even say this in a public forum. I already have one illegal rep. I only have two.
I don't think anyone who matters in this context is watching this podcast. It's fine.
I just doubt it, but it just feels wrong to say. No one's supposed to know.
Whatever. It's fine.
I didn't do it on purpose. I did not know he was not allowed when I got him. That's important to point out.
This is true. This is very true.
How did you find out that he wasn't allowed?
Because when I adopted my current cats last February, they sent over a copy of the pet policy just to have me fill out the new cat's information. And
Yeah.
I had to skim it, you know, I didn't need to read it. I was like, I've already signed this. It's just to provide their names and stuff. And I was like, I'll skim it anyway. And there's a section that says, like, no reptiles with the exception of turtles, I believe is what it says.
I just turtles.
Yeah. Because turtles are less threatening.
Well, I mean,
And
people
turtles
always
are
like.
one of my favorite animals, so I dig it. But
I've never
not
heard of
the
people being weird
exclusion
about
of-
turtles. I have heard of people being weird about snakes and lizards, so, like, I guess, but also stop being weird about reptiles. They're awesome pets.
Yeah. I mean, technically, Harley is venomous. Technically. So I guess.
Technically. He's also a foot long and has a mouth, like, that big.
He's like 14 inches now, okay?
Big boy! So proud.
And he's literally never tried to bite a human in his life, so
Love
he
that.
couldn't even hurt you if you wanted to.
Good to know. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Not that I was even afraid in the first place. I love him.
Oh yeah, he's terrifying.
Sweet boy. Such a sweet boy. Miss him.
He's a delight.
We love him. Anyway, now that we've veered off into snakes,
That's pretty common.
yeah, more content that only the two of us can contribute to. Sorry. Okay, so I found this thing, I found a screenshot of this Tumblr post on Reddit, because Tumblr itself is a hell site, and I don't want to be there anymore. So here's the post. Post by this account, Linguistics, y'all. Fun name. Where does your tongue stay when you're not speaking? If you're an English speaker, it's behind the top front teeth. If you're a Russian speaker, it's on the bottom of your mouth lying flat. And then there's comments about, like, I just consciously checked and tried to make it lay flat, but no, it's seriously at the top of my mouth. I don't like this. But why? You can't give info like that and not give a why. And I want to discuss, as non-linguists, as lay people, why do we think this is?
Well, first, do we think it's true? I'm pretty sure my tongue stays at the bottom.
Yeah,
I
no,
have-
mine's behind the top front teeth.
Well, I mean, Bridget, you're the only one that speaks both Russian and English, I'm pretty sure, so
I have a theory.
equipped.
I have a theory. Assuming that this is true, which I'm going to assume, otherwise it's not going to be fun to talk about. Most of the sounds that make up the English language involve your tongue coming into contact with the roof. Uh-oh. We had a little video cut out there. It's fine. But most of the sounds that make up the English language involve your tongue coming into contact with either the roof of your mouth or your teeth. And then in Russian, like, there's definitely a lot of hard consonant sounds, but there's quite a few more vowel sounds that kind of... I don't know the, like, proper order of vowels in the Russian alphabet the way that we are kind of instinctually trained to say, like, A-E-I-O-U. But I don't know that. Embarrassing myself a little bit here. But yeah, no, like, just a lot more, like, really open vowel sounds in Russian. So I don't know, that's part of it. And also there's one really weird vowel sound. It's not an I, it's not an E. The only way I can describe it is, like, it's a sound that one might make when you see something that disappoints, or you're, like, kind of over it. And
Can you use it in a word?
I'm trying to think of a good... So this is the Russian word for first. The one I'm talking about is in the second syllable. It's bedovly. It's the oi.
Oh, she's ugly.
Aw, she's ugly. So yeah, just a lot of Russian vowel sounds kind of like come from further back in your mouth than things do in English, I guess, is the best way I could describe it. I briefly I took one linguistics class as part of a... Not even linguistics, it was like anthropology with like the smallest side of language thrown in because we were talking about cultural anthropology or something. But there was this cool chart that like, it's like 6 different boxes. It's 2x3. And, God, how do I describe this? It's essentially like where along your like mouth and vocal cords different sounds come from and how it like changes in different languages. So like for Spanish speakers, native Spanish speakers and native English speakers, like the E sound comes from like different places like in your mouth and vocal cords. Cool stuff. So that's essentially what I'm like, where I'm basing everything, just like the way you make sounds in English versus in Russian.
So would Arabic and Hebrew speakers have the same thing where their tongue would rest on the bottom since they have the guttural?
Possibly. I feel as though that would probably be the same. And maybe even to like, and like maybe it's even like slightly different because there's it looks like an X, but in Russian it's like a really hard H. Like in English they kind of write it out as a KH. So like Russian word for bread, chlyeb. It's not quite as like far in the back of your throat as like similar sounds I've heard in like Hebrew and Arabic, but it's similar.
The Welsh don't believe in vowels, so
no, they don't, and the Polish barely do either.
Yeah. So you would assume, based on that theory, that they're bottom of the mouth people, or right, top of the mouth people. Sorry.
Yeah, that's actually what makes the most sense to me. Like, what? Yeah, I feel like it's all based on like what kind of sounds you have to make. Because again, in Polish, it's so many consonants. Actually, I watched this cool video once about this guy. He was he's like a vocal coach for Hollywood, and one of the things he was doing in this video was he was like breaking down like how well did this actor do at portraying this exact person's accent? And there's a word for it. It's like there's some kind of word for like the exact accent that a single person has. Can't remember it, and I watched this video a while ago. I feel like I'm gonna sound like I'm just making stuff up. I swear I'm not. I will link all of this stuff. But he was talking about, I think the movie was The Social Network, and he was talking about how Kate Winslet was playing this woman who was like native Polish speaker speaking English. And he said her accent was really, really good, but the thing that gave her away was that her jaw moved too much. Because Kate Winslet started in theater, so like, you know, trained to kind of keep things very open, very projected. But if you are a native Polish speaker, because there's so many consonants, you really don't need to move your jaw all that much, like, when you say words. So, like, that was the thing that, like, gave her away as not a native Polish speaker, even though she was doing a very, like, convincing job of performing the accent.
Interesting.
Cool thing. Seems vaguely relevant.
I feel like this is one of the most intellectual arguments ever had. Especially coming on the heels of a discussion about whether bracelets make you attractive. This is something.
You know, we gotta show the people our range.
Yeah.
And I mean, technically, we were referencing some actual research last episode, so I think we're doing quite good.
True. Yeah. We do get a good spectrum of...
I dig it. Yeah.
Stuff.
So now that I've ranted, does anyone else have any thoughts that they would like to share on that? I know I do have the advantage of being the person that speaks Russian and English.
Yeah, it just bothers me that there's not any sort of like citation. Like, is this just an observation that they have made themselves based on just talking to people, like anecdotal, or is there actual research on this?
What
Yeah, I don't
actually
know.
no,
Actually,
never mind.
I will scroll. Please continue.
What I would love to talk with somebody who moved from a country like Saudi Arabia or Iran or Russia to a place like Spain or the States where the language that they primarily be using changes like how your mouth works and hear how they adjusted for that.
Oh yeah, I should talk to my old Russian professor because she's been in the U.S. for a really long time and like speaks English
Hey,
like.
how have you been? Where is your tongue?
Yeah, right. Super weird question. Would definitely send the image for context. But again, just interesting to think about, like, if you spoke both languages fluently, like, what difference would it make if it makes one?
Yeah.
Because I most certainly don't speak Russian fluently. I can vaguely sort of get by sometimes.
See, of course, when I read this and first thought about it, I mean, the first thing you automatically do is close your mouth and think about where your tongue is, right? And I don't know if this is just a me thing, but I don't have a choice. Like when my mouth is fully closed, my tongue has nowhere to go. It is clamped in.
Apparently, like, that's part of it, though. Like, you don't have a choice based on the way that, like, the muscle develops as you're like learning to speak, because like there, there are some, like, how in some languages there are sounds where it's like if you don't learn to like make this particular sound when you're like young, you like pretty much have no chance. Like the German word for, I think it's like squirrel or something, almost pretty much impossible for non-native speakers to pronounce. I like cannot even attempt it because my like mouth simply will not. So like things like that.
But I mean, like, it is both on the bottom of my mouth and touching the back of my teeth because it's like there's no one or the other.
See, my tongue is like glued to the top of to like the roof of my mouth.
Yeah, same.
Like that's where it rests, which is weird because it's like fighting gravity, but
That's
I
feel like
literally
that's what it's talking about. Like it feels
yeah.
like it is like if for native, like since we're all native English speakers, kind of anecdotally providing evidence for this, like because almost all the sounds that we have to make involve pushing your tongue against either your teeth or the roof of your mouth. The like muscle develops in such a way that like your resting position is going to defy gravity.
Like I literally have to think about it and consciously push my tongue down to
Yeah,
the
and
bottom
I
of
don't
my
like
mouth.
it. It's
It is
weird.
it's uncomfortable. Yeah.
Bad. Yeah, and again, do we know what we're talking about here? No, but that's why I put it on here. Because I thought it would be fun to talk about as people who don't know why.
I do have extra bone in the bottom of my mouth, so that might be why.
I'm
Um,
sorry, what?
I forget. There's like a medical term for it, but it's from grinding my teeth. Like if you
Hmm.
grind your teeth over a long period of time, you actually build up like extra bone along the like inside of bottom of your mouth.
I grind my teeth.
It's pretty weird
Oh,
looking. I mean, it's in pretty extreme cases,
okay.
yes, that it went unnoticed for so long before I finally got a night guard like 6 years ago. But by then it was pretty bad.
Too much
And
bone
sometimes like
disease.
yeah, if it gets like really extreme, they actually have to do like surgery and chip bone out of your mouth. Mine's not that bad, but yeah, it's insane.
Don't like
But it,
that.
I mean, you can actually see it. I'm not going to show people right now, but you can. It's like, yeah, it's very unfortunate when I have to get X-rays because those little bite wings they put in your mouth, they're not designed for
Ooh,
people with
ouch.
extra bone.
Yeah, those are already uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And as
It's really
a
bad.
person who had braces, dealt with a fair amount of those.
Yeah, yeah. And so it might just be a me thing. You know, people with this similar, whatever the name of it, I can't remember. It has an official name.
Hmm.
I'm sure all of the random linguistic things I'm saying definitely have some official name,
Oh yeah.
but I don't know them. This would have been a good question for Stephanie now that I think about it, but I don't know if she's that
Yeah.
type of linguist.
She gets all the language-related questions.
She does. I absolutely loved that like proverb she told us about like reading Mandarin. It's like start from one side, and if you can't start from one side, start from the middle. It's like, well, yeah, you're gonna have to start somewhere.
She makes it sound so fun reading Mandarin. Like, I don't know, we just kind of like, guess and
Yeah, it's probably fine. Massive props to anyone who is not a native speaker that chooses to learn Mandarin. Wow. That's a lot. Very impressive. Anyway. Okay, we've been going for like not quite an hour. I think we can do more stuff, even though I don't have anything scheduled or anything written down. Does anyone just have a thing they would like to say? Doesn't even necessarily have to be a question, just a topic.
Should we circle back to hot running takes? Do we have any?
We said it would be organic. This seems like...
Have at it, friends.
Any controversial stances on running, perhaps?
It's bad.
I'll say
Habits.
this. I love to run, but I've never been like involved with like a community in any extensive sense. So I don't know how hot my takes are, or if I offered them and then everyone was like, yeah. So I don't know.
I'll preface to saying I'm not offering any hot takes.
I mean, I don't think we have enough listeners that people are gonna come after you in the comments.
So I'll say this. I dislike running downhill just as much as I do running uphill.
I think there's actually support for that. I ran
Yeah.
cross for a whole year in college, one whole season. But the coach was really talented. He's actually been within a few minutes of the Boston qualifying for the Olympic trial.
Stop, really?
So he's done Boston a couple times, including when the bombing was that day. But he said the hardest part was the downhills. It wasn't like Heartbreak Hill, the uphill. It was like the downhill because they're hard on the shins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He like my perfect running like slant, like it can be downhill, but it has to be like single digit degrees. Like once it's over, like so subtle I don't even notice it. That's okay. That might even be better. But like downhill, no, absolutely not.
I'm just afraid I'm gonna like fall on my face.
You go tumbling.
Yeah. I mean, you already have so much momentum going.
Yeah. I just ran a race last month where like I'd never even been near where the route was or anything, so I knew nothing about it. I don't like to look at the map in advance. It makes it more fun, And there was a hill that was like,
oh no,
I was convinced I was gonna bite it, and just like I could just see my broken face.
Oh no.
It's the kind of hill like where your feet just feel like they're slapping.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was terrifying. Like, why do people want this?
I have heard that the Roanoke Marathon here in Virginia is the hardest marathon in the country. There's like 4 miles that are flat. Everything else is either uphill or downhill. Like it's so hilly. Like
hate hills.
Nope. Yeah, nope. Like where I live, it just is all hills. Like if I'm running, I'm either on the nature trail behind me. That's the other thing. My dislike of hills sort of falls away when it's like a hiking trail, because then it kind of like you're almost expecting it, and I'm a little more okay with it. But unless it's a hiking trail, I'm driving to Washington and running on the mall. That's about as flat as you're gonna get. And
yeah, I feel like it depends on the context, because I was running at a park here, it was a few years ago, and it was a trail I'd never been on, and I'm just running and everything looks normal. It's, maybe like this steep. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's like this dead drop off, like literally. Like, I'm glad I saw it at the last second and stopped, and I was like, how could anyone possibly run down this thing? You'd have to jump, And then a group of what I'm assuming were like high school cross country runners, like a bunch of guys, just went and ran up it like it was nothing. And I'm like, how? And then I just felt,
nope.
Yeah, I don't know how they defied gravity like that. It was amazing.
That's
So
really
it kind of
terrifying.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you guys do anything to get yourselves like hyped up before a run, or do you just open the door and go?
I just do a lot of speed and coke.
Good, do it.
So
You heard it
records
here,
every time.
folks.
I prefer to interpret that as speed and Coca-Cola because I feel like those would be a really,
Yeah.
way to go.
Sounds like it would probably upset your stomach. I don't know. I've never
Speed.
speed. Coke. I just think like putting Pop Rocks in Coca-Cola or something.
Yeah. That'd be a way to, get yourself energized too. Have some Pop Rocks and Coke and then chug it.
And then you set the bathroom 5 miles away. It's like, go.
But no, I don't think I do it to get. No.
No.
Okay. Do you guys listen to
I
music or no?
physically cannot
Used
ride
to.
my bike unless I'm listening to
Used
something.
to.
I used to until I moved to my current location last January. And I don't know why, I just decided to go out, I guess, exploring without headphones to kind of have better situational awareness. And then COVID happened, so I was like, oh, I need extra situational awareness as people. And now I just really like it. I'm like, it's kind of nice to just be my own little world.
Interesting.
There are too many worms up here for me to want to be alone with my thoughts in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, no.
So constant noise. I cannot even do a 5-minute drive without having music on. And I always need to have something on when I am. That's my cardio. My cardio / legs is cycling. So I can at least relate in the sense of cardio that involves your legs. So
Fair.
Your new joints.
yeah, no. There needs to be noise. And also every time I'm on a bike trail and I'm going downhill, I'm like, this is fun now, but I'm gonna have to go back the other way. But also it's kind of nice when I'm going up a hill and I'm like, Jesus, this sucks. I'm like, wait, it'll be really fun the way back.
My controversial. Oh, good.
No, I was just agreeing. I feel the same way. I'm like, oh, this is fun. Like, oh, that means I have to go back up it. Oh.
Yeah. Well, that's not super steep. My controversial running opinion is that I like running outside, but I prefer treadmills.
Oh no.
Same.
Unpopular.
Sarah,
Oh no.
secretly a serial killer.
I just hate running. So I prefer treadmills.
But like I have a treadmill in the basement and I have like a 42-inch TV on the wall, and so I can just like run forever and binge watch Netflix while I run. And then when I do like hill workouts, I just set the the incline and adjust it as needed, and so I don't have these unpredictable hills. Same thing when I want to do speed intervals, I just push a button to speed up and slow down. It's very consistent. I don't have to go outside and get hot and sweaty and get my shoes dirty. I don't have to worry about allergens in the air or random annoying people stopping at intersections for traffic.
See, I have
Going anywhere.
one of those bike trainer stands in my basement. And I love riding outside. It's awesome, but I got to say it gives me so much less of an excuse if I don't have to get my bike out of the shed and do a bunch of stuff beforehand. If I can just put my workout clothes on and go down to the basement and have no excuse whatsoever, I am much. What the hell is calling me? Oh, we love robocalls.
Is it your car's extended warranty?
No, it's just something that says spam risk. But yeah, no, it gives me so much less of an excuse to be like, well, I guess I can't ride today. Too much prep work, or the weather doesn't look so great. But I love riding outside. It is nice, but again, not having the excuse makes me much more consistent.
I have my rower for indoor anything. Happy
Nice.
with that. But I could never keep the time or pace that I keep outside on a treadmill. I would literally go insane. Last week I ran like 7 miles. It was just under an hour. It was a good run for me personally. Everything felt right. But if somebody was like, "Hey, hop on this treadmill for an hour and set it on 7 miles an hour and just stick with it," I would not be like, I would just lose my mind having to do that in the same place over and
I
over
do always
again.
seem to go longer distances when I'm actually like out, like outside riding, because like I'll start like I'll start a trail and everything will be like nice and picturesque and whatever, and I'll have my fun tunes going, and I won't even intend to go that far, but then I'll just be like, oh, I'm 15 miles from my house, just because like I got things distracting me from the fact that I'm doing exercise, even though cycling is exercising I enjoy.
I definitely run faster outside. I don't know what
Yeah,
it is. I try to set the treadmill for the same speed I run when I'm outdoors. It
yeah.
feels insanely fast, and I don't know how that's true.
Right? No, it really does. Like mathematically, I know I'm running this speed, but on a
Uh,
treadmill, you can't do it.
yeah, it's like I can't even keep it up for like 5 minutes. I'm like, how? I'm running faster than
Okay.
this outside sometimes, and it's like I don't know how. It makes no
That
sense.
that makes me feel better about your treadmill habit. That it's not just like,
Yeah, no,
well,
and plus,
I
I tend to get up at 5 a.m. to work out, so it's still dark, and I can't run outside in the dark
okay,
at 5 a.m. by myself.
that's fair.
That too.
I have also never run on a treadmill with a TV in front of me.
Ooh, yeah.
I would be curious if I had a show I was really into, if that would take away. Because my thing is, I usually need, like, when it comes to exercise, like two external sources of like stimulation. And usually when I'm running, it's like the changing scenery and getting to look at the buildings around me and the music. Um, and so like if I go running without music, I only have one, and then I get lost in my thoughts. And if I'm on a treadmill with music, I'm not seeing new things. But like a show or a movie would kind of cover both
Hmm.
bases. So I would be that would be interesting. I think it's gonna be a long time before I have the space for a treadmill and a TV like all in the same room, but
It's a
at
goal
some
for
point.
you.
Yeah. What I can do that's actually nice is I can roll my rower out to the living room, set that in front of the TV.
Not bad.
No, it is very nice. It barely fits. It's
Valid.
like I'm right on top of it.
Yeah, one of my like hacks for myself when I was still a Geneseo and had like access to the gym there is that I would like pick a show and like watch it on my phone like with headphones while I was at the gym, and I would only ever watch it at the gym, and I'd be like, well,
Ooh,
guess I
Yep,
gotta go to the gym if I want to watch the next
I'm a gym
episode.
bro.
that's what I do. I have a show that I only watch in my because I have a bike and stuff downstairs. I call it my little home gym with my TV down there.
I love it.
I just pick a show and that's all I watch. I've been watching The Sopranos because I never watched that when it was on, so I only watch it when I'm down there. And I'll often leave off in the middle of an episode because when I'm done with my workout, I'm done with my workout, and so I'll stop it, And so then that's my incentive to
I dig it.
like,
Yeah, no,
oh,
that is
That's a
definitely a thing
very
that worked for me, and I think that's a thing I'm definitely gonna stick with because like I can't. There's really no way for me to like watch something on my phone while I'm on my bike.
You can, it's just not safe.
I mean
yeah.
that, but like while I'm on like my stand, like if I'm just like in my basement, there's really no good place to like put it, even if I am like stationary and not like needing to actually navigate.
Yeah.
But like that's one of my things. Like I would like to have, either just a corner where like in like a living room or whatever, like a corner where I could stick my bike on the stand when it's like winter and I'm not riding outside, and I could just like drag it in front of the TV, enjoy something, push it back off to the side, or like just some little extra room where I put boxes and also my bike and can have a TV. That'd be
Or you
nice.
can get it's not quite the same thing. I have this under desk bike here that like folds up,
I love that.
which
My
is
room is already so cramped though.
I thought about taking it downstairs and just pedaling like when I'm watching TV. So I'll just pedal and then like knit and watch TV at the same time.
That's not a bad
Really,
idea, honestly.
yeah. So I'm burning calories, but because I'm using both my hands to knit and then my feet to pedal.
Hell yeah.
But I'm still watching.
So I am curious, is your preference for the treadmill like if you could have your perfect outdoors, if you had like a perfect trail that was right outside your house and the lighting was fine and all of that, would you still prefer the treadmill because you can immerse your brain in something that holistically, or at that point would you like? I'm just curious, like where the preference comes from.
It depends on the day.
Okay.
I do love trail running. I guess the main problem that I have is bad asthma and allergies.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, and so I guess that's a big part of the problem because like I've only run outside twice this entire like year, and both times I spent the rest of the day like coughing and hacking because of my
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that's a big part of it. So if we could remove that part of things, and I got to run on my favorite trail, and it was daylight, and I wasn't worried about someone attacking me, because there's always that too.
Yeah,
that's the fun part about being on a bike. I'm fast.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been trail running much lately, but I used to like, I'd go out and just start running and got my headphones in, and then it'd be like, all of a sudden, wait a minute, how long? I am 6 miles into the middle of the woods.
Yep.
I have no way to defend myself. I am now terrified. Let me turn around and run even faster.
Well, there's some motivation for you.
Yeah.
I did that way too many times. It started making me nervous.
That's very fair.
Yeah, I listened to true crime. People being attacked in the woods.
Yeah. One too many Criminal Minds episodes.
I just finished listening to a podcast about backpacker murders where people were just like shooting hikers in the woods.
Were you listening to the Australian serial killers episode? We are working our way through the same podcast. Last podcast, baby. Oh, I have a pentagram on my sweatshirt. I know Henry Zabrowski would approve.
But it's like, listening to stuff like that, I know the odds of it happening aren't good, but it just gets you out a little bit. So there's that too.
Yeah.
The odds are even lower in your basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't stop me from like every single sound I hear. Like, what was that?
Yeah.
I do that to myself quite frequently.
Yeah.
But there's something eerie about it.
Yeah.
I guess I would have different running locations based on the time of day I would go running and the time of year. I loved running around one of 2 lakes that were near me, but I could only do that obviously during daylight hours. So I had a backup residential place near my old office. And now I have 2 options. One is a trail, and one I can basically just run through the neighborhood, which is kind of fun. It's a somewhat touristy area. And then there are parks, so you kind of get some fun mix of people watching.
That's cool.
But you could tell by people's body language sometimes. Like, there was this guy that he had just accepted his fate. This girl was just going into him. And it wasn't even like an angry, like dynamic kind of like hand to do it. She was just so angry. She was calm. Like, oh, so this is how it is, huh? That's it. Like, ooh. Not gonna hang her up.
Oh, I would have slowed down.
100%.
I want to see the tweet. There's this tweet. I was looking through my Twitter bookmarks because I was looking for something that we referenced in the Halloween episode to link. And as I was scrolling through my Twitter likes, I saw this tweet by a person whose Twitter display name is F Thought Bitch Gerald. So first of all, nice. But her tweet was like in response to like somebody talking about like some sort of like celebrity gossip or whatever. And her response was, "Who? I'm a slimy bitch. Give me the slop."
Oh my gosh.
And I've never related to something more in my life. Because I too am a slimy bitch.
You definitely sent me that.
Oh, I probably have. I've shared a lot of my Twitter bookmarks with either of you. But yes, sometimes tea that doesn't involve you personally, it's just really entertaining.
Oh. Well, you do miss out on that on the treadmill, but that's one of the reasons why running on the treadmill at the gym is a little... Because, so when I run on my treadmill here at home, I watch TV, but when I run on the treadmill at the gym, I just listen to podcasts,
Nice.
Because that frees up my eyes to look around the gym. And And it's basic people watching. There's not a lot of drama like that, but like just recently they installed basically sort of like a CrossFit, like, functional training area at my gym. And the way that it's set up is that all the cardio equipment is on like a balcony that overlooks the rest of the gym, including the functional training area.
So you see people like throwing tires and stuff?
Yeah, they got the big ass tires over there, and they got the ropes, But what's most amusing is that they have these like big platform things that you can stack up to make different heights. It is for jumping onto them and off of them again, which is
Okay, yeah.
a good leg workout. I do something similar with my trainer, but
Yeah.
but these are like these can get like really high.
Oh, some people are nuts. It's really impressive. Oh no, did someone eat it?
Did they fall off the balcony? Because that would kind of be hilarious.
Oh, they would be very horribly injured. I mean, it's high up. But like, yeah, I watched this guy, like, I'm just plodding along, listening to my podcast, and I'm watching this guy like gradually stack up every single platform, and it was probably like this high on him, like almost chin height.
Some people can do it though. Like, I've seen it done. It's terrifying.
I mean, yeah, but
He
this guy
was not one of
so
them.
confident. He went like so far back to get a running start, and he just ran his little heart out and launched and just right to the side. And I almost
No,
fell
buddy.
off.
I mean, A for effort.
Like, good on him for trying. I didn't mean to like mock him, but he tried a second time and he barely made it. So he
Yay!
Good for him.
Perseverance.
Yeah.
Every time I see someone stacking up those platforms, I
Looks over.
I got a different kind of show at the gym.
I love that for you. That sounds very entertaining.
Yeah, it's fun. Decent people watching.
I dig it.
It's public, but yeah. So there's different levels of interest on treadmills depending on what treadmill you're on and where.
Yeah, no, the treadmill
fair.
at my house, you are staring at exposed brick and some spiders.
I mean, the brick sounds nice.
It's like kind of gross though. It's a little moldy.
Okay.
Our basement like floods.
Wonderful.
Yeah. It's not ideal. Which is why I'm disappointed that there's like when I'm on my like bike on the stand that there's no really good place to like put my phone to watch something, cuz I'm just staring at exposed insulation and spiders.
Get yourself an old music stand.
Yeah.
That is not a bad idea.
And if you have a tablet, that's better. I used to use a tablet before I had the TV.
That is not a bad idea at all.
I actually, I used to just stack up random things in a tower to sit my tablet on.
I talked about this on an episode earlier. That's what I used to do with my camera until I got like an actual camera stand, which is wonderful. I don't know how I lived like that.
Oh, my laptop is currently on a pile of magazines.
Yeah. It happens to the best of us.
Man, I feel like all of the running things that we've said have been pretty broad appeal and not very like esoteric.
Yeah.
Maybe there's one guy out there who like ties his shoelaces around his ankles.
Oh, speaking of that, okay, I know I brought that up like the
You
first
did.
time that I came on. So I did some research. I think it was like that guy's first day or something, because there is a tie for that for hiking boots, where you tie your laces around the back of your hiking boot. So it's not on your ankle, it's around the boot, and it's supposed to like anchor your ankle or something. And he must, because it was like one of those like running hiking stores, must have like somebody was like, "Hey, this is a cool tie," and he was like, "Must be universal." And then I was like, "This is on my ankle, sir."
Yeah, I
Sure.
feel like that would like very quickly like give you blisters.
Oh yeah, I was like, Nope. Like
No?
the back of my ankle will be like raw and bloody if I run with like my laces tied around the back of it."
Yeah. no.
Also,
But-
how long are those laces? I feel like none of my running shoes have laces long enough to do that.
Didn't tell you. It was well, like it only like went around once or something. I don't know. It was a while ago. But
Weird.
after we talked about it, it was bugging me and I had to find it and I found that it is a legitimate way of tying shoes for like cardio work, just boots for hiking, not running.
That was actually the first thing I thought about in mentioning running, like hot takes. Was like I'm a very devoted to the runner's loop as a lacing method. I know there's
Yeah.
another name for it, lace locks, where you do like the little.
Yep.
It's really not a thing you can describe very well and does not translate to an primarily audio medium.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about, but it is not exactly like a two bunny ears sort of tie.
Yeah, it's like I could go grab a pair of my shoes from the other
Yeah.
room. I have like
Wait, that's
6 pairs of running shoes.
the 2 bunny ears, like that's a runner's loop or whatever. Runners.
I can't think of how to describe it. No, it's not about how you actually tie the shoes. It's about how you put the laces through the holes in the shoes.
Gotcha.
And
Interesting.
then how you feed the laces through that. Sorry, my cat has climbed inside of my work messenger bag and is digging into it.
You can handle that if you need to.
Hold on, she's right here.
Yes, show us the baby.
She likes to burrow in things, and if you leave any open, she will
love it.
burrow. She is very weird.
Oh, I thought you were grabbing her. I was like, show me the
thought-
child.
Grabbing her too.
Oh, I mean, she's still right there. Both of them are touching each other actually right now, right there.
Show me the child.
Hey, Luna, we've had a request. I'm gonna be like, I don't like being picked up, man.
Too bad. The people must see. Hello.
This little girl likes to
Hello.
dig into whatever she can dig into. So if she perceives something as being like an opening, she will get in there and just dig.
Oh, so beautiful.
She is very weird.
She's curious.
We love her.
That was one of the first things I ever saw her do at the shelter was they have like these couches. They let the cats just roam around so you can meet them. And they have these covers on the couches so that they can easily take them off and wash them when they get all furry and stuff. Oh, sorry. And she somehow got between the couch and the cover
Nice.
and just burrowed right to the middle and just laid there, took a nap. Just underneath the couch cover.
Cave. Safe.
Yeah, I got lots of pictures and videos of her burrowing under blankets on the couch and just being a lump on her blanket.
We love it. We love her.
My tattoo person, he has a black Maine Coon whose name is Vlad.
Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about
I
that
love this
sentence
cat
was great.
so much. Yeah. No, this cat like just falls asleep in the sink and I love him so much.
Good boy.
So
I want a cat. I want a kitty.
they are bizarre creatures.
I know. I love them.
Unique personalities. I've never met that didn't have its own quirks. Like, yeah, unique set of quirks.
Shout out to my neighbor's cat that bit me.
Oh.
Yeah, no, he was, I think he was very salty that Dad was on vacation and I was there providing food instead. So one time I went up to him, put my hand out so he could sniff it or whatever, and he sniffs my hand, starts rubbing up against it, decides that he doesn't like that he is touching me, and then bit me.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Mercurial that way.
I am sorry that I'm not Dad. And I was salty that he didn't like me, because he's a very fat orange cat.
Love an orange boy.
Just like a wonderful fat boy. I wanted to be able to just lug him around like a sack of potatoes. That was not the case. Deeply disappointing.
I was gonna get an orange cat, and then I met Luna.
I've told you this many times. I just want a big, fluffy, absolute unit of a cat that I can manhandle.
Yep.
Just a boy that likes being tossed around.
That is not my cats. They are tiny and dainty.
Your cats are very tiny and dainty. No, I want an absolute unit of a feline.
I know that cat. His name is Norman. He is my brother's cat.
Thick boy.
He is a giant orange blob, and he has grown up with small children his whole life, so he doesn't really care what people do to him.
That's what I need. Absolutely wonderful. Just a big, thick friend.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Love it.
Norman is a special boy.
And I will call him Beef Stroganoff.
Beep,
You
beep.
got a black cat, you could like walk with him kind of sitting around your shoulders on Halloween,
Yes.
just fully draped.
Oh my god.
I got one
wonderful.
of those over there.
The funny thing is that
Voidy.
Nyx is the size that she probably could comfortably sit on your shoulder.
Oh yeah, she weighs like 6 or 7
Like
pounds.
she could just perch, like you know how in like cartoons the witch will have like the black cat like sitting on her shoulder. Like you could literally do that
Yeah.
if she would stay still.
She doesn't know how to stay still.
Yeah, that might be a bit of a problem, but like theoretically it's possible.
Like I was like, she was right next to me. I was like, maybe I'll pick her up and just lay her too. But no, she would wiggle. She's made of slime. She is slime in the shape of a cat. She magically, it's like oil and water trying to pick her up. Like I don't know how she.
That's why you gotta wait for her to be on a blanket and then just take the corners and.
It is very comical.
Gotcha.
If you ever try to pick her up, like it's almost. I mean, I do it on occasion to like throw her out of my room when she won't leave Hurley alone or something. But you know, if you're trying to pick her up and she suspects something, like you know, the vet or medicine, she'll. It's magic.
Impressive.
The black cat. So she's got that black cat magic.
I know that I could pick my dog up if she would let me. If she would just let me do it, I know I could.
I love Piper so much.
She's like 60 pounds.
Yeah, it's a bit.
She's
It's a bit. Like,
she's a good sized dog, but again, I know I could do it. I know I could scoop her up if she would just let me do it. But she doesn't want to be picked up.
I love picking up Echo.
I
Like
know.
her knees just disappear. She just
How many-
all four. Like
she's got to weigh a good like 50 pounds, right?
who?
Echo.
Echo? Yeah, she's about 65 pounds.
She's very
But
fluffy.
she's smaller than Piper. She's like a little smaller than Piper, but like more solid.
Yeah. I just assumed more of her was firm. Than was...
Oh no, she has tons of that. I mean,
Yeah.
hang on. Like this is from the last time I brushed her, like just for about 5 minutes or so, and like
That's a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, no, you could also brush another dog out of Piper. But again, if she would just let me do it, I know I could.
That reminds me of the truly horrifying thing that still haunts my nightmares that you sent me the other day, Bridget. The cat hair. That's
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know why.
bad. I hated it, and if I had to see it, you did too. Some insane person on the internet like needle felted like 3 like human size like cat people sculptures out of like discarded cat hair.
What?
They're horrifying. They're absolutely horrifying.
That's disturbing.
Extremely.
when I close my eyes, I can still see it. Like it's like burned.
I know. Ugh, I hate it.
That was definitely a thanks, I hate it moment.
Thanks, I hate it. One of the best sentences in any language, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You were talking about putting the animals around your neck. To tie that back to the running, at one of the lakes I would run around, there was this person that would just walk around with a parrot on their shoulder.
I love it.
Curious, like, how did this come to be? Where did you get this parrot?
Oh,
How are you okay with just walking around with it like that?
It might have its wings clipped.
yeah.
Maybe.
Wait, so years ago, I was at the crossings in Colony, and there was a woman who I saw there more than once, because I was going there once, saw her more than once, who was like walking her rabbit.
Amazing.
The rabbit was fully on a leash. I
Amazing.
kid you not. I have pictures somewhere. I'm sure they'll resurface at some point. But like, just her and her rabbit
Amazing, incredible,
vibing.
show-stopping.
Yeah.
I mean, I walk around public places with my snake. Like, she has gone to the park.
One of my favorite things, a few years back, I was at a bar here in Rochester, and we were just leaving, and I saw these people coming in with a stroller, you know, and so I assume it's a baby in there. But then I realized the stroller has like a mesh around it.
Was it a cat?
No.
Was it a dog?
No.
Where is this going?
It was a pig!
If I was drunk at a bar, like, with the girls, and I saw that, I don't know if anything could top that feeling.
Yeah, no, it was amazing because like of all the things, I assumed it was gonna be like a little like a toy dog, you know. Did not see the pig coming. I mean, it was kind of it's a pretty hipstery kind of bar.
Valid.
It's one of those places where it's like old timey decor, and the bartenders dress up in like old timey clothes, and they do the cocktail shaking, and like they're all fancy, like, you
I
know,
love it.
$15 cocktails. So it's pretty hipstery. So maybe not.
I gotta say, those like teacup pigs, they are so freaking adorable.
I lost my mind. I wish I would have taken a picture of it, but I was so like in the moment, just so overwhelmed.
Understandable.
You might be a terrible person. I would probably start being really hungry for bacon.
Oh, they do have like a little food truck out back that primarily serves pork, now that I think of it. I don't think I thought about it at the time.
Fair enough.
That's a little
Yeah, I gotta say, like,
that big.
there's a lot of animals that are technically livestock that I do find adorable, like, aside from being livestock. Like, cows are freaking cute.
Huh.
What else? What other livestock is there? Cows, pigs.
Sheep are
That's
kind of
like-
cute.
What is it?
Sheep?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they're not bad, but they're gross and smelly, and they're not clean.
They're not, but lambs are really cute.
we do eat those.
This is also true.
Usually sheep eat lamb. Like once they're grown up, apparently the meat's not. I don't know.
I think that's mutton. Like, when it's, like, an adult sheep.
Yeah, never mind this thing.
But I don't really think that's much of a thing anymore.
Not really.
I mean, that just makes me think of, like, medieval time type stuff, you know?
Turkeys are terrifying.
Oh, yeah, no. Ducks.
They
Oh
are-
my god, ducks are so freaking cute.
Geese are not cute. Ducks are cute. Geese are not cute.
Said this before and I will say it again. Geese wake up every day and choose violence.
They do.
And I wish they didn't, because they really are such funky little boys.
That's another downside to running outside.
Geese.
Yeah.
We've got a ton of geese around here, and I have had to stop and run the other way multiple times.
I have encountered geese on my bike, and I, like, have had to, like, ring the bell loudly until they got out of the path, because I was like, I'm not passing close to you.
You know, the geese are like territorial and aggressive around here. They like rove in packs, menacing like gangs. And then they make the sidewalks like a minefield
Yeah.
where you can watch where you run if you don't want your shoes to get disgusting.
Gross.
And if they
You
have
hate to see
goslings,
it.
What about the goslings?
if you have goslings, you can't look at them, or their mom will like come at you. Or at least she did to me. Like I gave her space. I was on the other side of the trail. I'm like, all right. She came at me, and I was like, oh, this is how we're gonna be. Okay.
And I
This
hate
is where-
that. I hate that baby geese are cute. They look so soft. I just want to scoop them up,
I do.
but I can't do that.
Like, it's gosling season.
They're precious. Oh, also, call out of my sister. One time we were driving and we, like, by the side of the road there was a little pond and there was a bunch of little baby geese following their mother. And my sister pointed at them and goes, "Look at the goose ducklings!" And we still laugh at her for that today.
Yeah, of course you do. You have to.
Legally required.
Yeah.
All right, well,
What
we've
else?
added a good half hour to this. Nicely done, everybody.
Pro ramblers.
I'm sorry that I'm like in a bat cave over here. I do not do like teleconferences very much. It is pretty dark.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all good. Yeah, I think that should be like a thing we add to the podcast description or something, or like to our I don't know, business card. Professional ramblers.
Ooh,
Is it?
No, we don't, but wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Things to think about. Thinking about things I should point out in relation to when this episode is going to be released. Because by the time this is released, we're definitely going to be streaming that weekend, so check that out. I think that's going to be episode 3 we're going to be talking about of Squid Game. So that'll be fun. Looking forward to it. Actually going to have the entire thing binged by that point. Yay. And
We can all walk on eggshells together.
yeah. That's fine.
How far are you?
I have still only watched episode 2. I
Okay.
was gonna binge it yesterday, but then I got re-addicted to Skyrim. It's fine.
We'll have that.
Happens to the best of us. But yeah, I really think that's the only like major thing to look out for, at least by the time this is gonna be released.
Mm-hmm. On November 5th.
On November 5th. Nice.
Today is November 5th.
Yes.
That's so meta.
Okay. Allison, thank you for joining us. You've been our
Yes.
first guest in quite a while, which is
Yeah.
very cool. Or at least first guest with the like actual 3-host rotation. So, yay, thank you, very much appreciated. And of course, always welcome back. Anyone who comes on here is always welcome to come back whenever.
thank you for having me.
Of course. All right. Well, we will see y'all again next week, and we will see y'all on Sunday. Adios.
Bye.
This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly, Zach Calderon, and Dr. Sarah Brooks. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at BridgetKelly98, at Zach Calderon, and at @AndSarahSaid. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider donating to our Patreon. Thanks for listening!